Hi everybody, I just finished my 9th book of the year. It was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I'm sorry, I just don't know. I probably could have looked it up. Anyway, I really like this book. I gave it 4 out of 5, which I've been doing a lot recently. It was almost a 5 out of 5. It was very, very close. I really did enjoy this book. I would recommend it. If you're somebody who's into more of a thriller or a mystery or something that just has a darker energy and a darker vibe to it, you would really enjoy this book. I did notice that I'm on some sort of British, London-centric kind of kick. This is another book that takes place in a very similar setting as No One Will Believe This and Greenwich Park. So I don't know if I'm not doing it on purpose, but apparently some part of my brain is reading all of these books that are kind of similar, at least in the setting. I also drew another comparison. So in Greenwich Park, the one wife who is a photographer, who is sort of fabulous and artistic and very chic, I thought that was very similar to Alicia in this book. She is a painter, so she uses a different medium, but she's still a very chic, well put together woman, kind of envious in a certain sort of way. And so I thought that was sort of an interesting comparison. So not only did I have a similar setting, but I had 2 characters that I thought were sort of similar as well. I really did enjoy the book. It had a lot of twists and turns that I enjoyed. Basically, the book starts with the main character, Alicia, killing her husband, or at least getting arrested for killing her husband. She goes through the trial. They deem her some sort of mentally ill, I guess, for lack of a better term, and they put her into a facility to receive treatment instead of going to jail. Then you meet the secondary main character, who is a doctor who is very interested in trying to help Alicia. He's a psychoanalyst or a psychotherapist. I don't remember exactly which one it is. And he basically gets a new job at the facility where Alicia is at because he wants to work with her and help save her. Another big thing is after Alicia is found, quote unquote, murdering her husband, she stops talking. So she's completely nonverbal, will not talk to anybody, won't communicate really through any means at all. So that's one of the reasons, again, while during the trial, she was sent to this facility instead of to jail. So basically he wants to meet her, wants to help her, get her talking once again. The one thing I did not like about this book is it messes with the timeline. And what I mean is it sort of plays games with you. So you're hearing things, or you're being told that the current timeline is this doctor gets a job, goes to the Grove to help Alicia, and then kind of sporadically throughout that, you're getting journal entries that Alicia has written. And then you're having the doctor kind of narrate his thoughts and feelings and things like that. He's married. His wife starts cheating on him. He's very curious about who this man is, and he follows him home. And then basically, plot twist, the husband, or the man that the wife is cheating on. So the doctor's wife, the man that she is cheating with, turns out to be Alicia's husband. And what you think is going on at the same time, where the doctor is working with Alicia and he's finding out about the affair, you think that's happening simultaneously. It's actually years separated, and the doctor is the one who is the intruder in Alicia's home and kind of is the starting point for the incident that leads to Alicia's husband dying. Complicated, I know. But I get that it's an interesting technique to kind of lie about the current timeline, quote unquote, but at the same time you're reading it and you're just kind of purposefully misled. And so that kind of drives me nuts in a way, but I like it at the same time because it keeps you on your toes and it makes it a little bit less predictable. But because of that, I feel like the narrator himself or their self is not a reliable or honest storyteller. They're not really being upfront and honest about what's really truly going on. So that was one thing that I found very interesting, but after the fact, when I got to the point where you find out that the current timeline, quote unquote, is not the current timeline, I kind of sat there for a second and was like, come on. he's been lying and kind of misdirecting us this whole time. And I found that just a little bit frustrating, but not enough to dislike the book by any means. The last thing I really liked was the ending. It's a cliffhanger in a way that you don't know what the final outcome is for the Doctor, but you can kind of guess the direction in which it goes. Again, there could be a sequel where it kind of goes off in a totally different direction, but I don't believe there is a sequel, and I don't think the author would probably do that, but it wraps it up nicely enough that you're not stuck thinking what really happens or where is this going. It's not a Verity. You know, if you've read that book, you get what I'm saying. But I liked it. Yeah, 4 out of 5. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're into some of those darker books. I would say if you enjoyed None of This Is True or Greenwich Park, again, you would probably like this one as well. The main character in this book, Alicia, is very similar to, I think it was Serena or Selena, I can't remember which one it was, in Greenwich Park, the kind of artsy, glamorous wife, and the setting was very similar as well. Once again, it's a British book, or it takes place somewhere in the UK. Okay, so up next, my 10th book. This has been kind of on my radar for a while. It's Mad Honey. It's Jodi Picoult with Jennifer Finney Boylan. So I've actually never read any Jodi Picoult. So I mean, that's kind of interesting. I know she's a very popular author, but I've never read anything from them. So I'm excited for this. Plus, I've never heard of Jennifer Finney Boylan, so I'm excited for that as well. Apparently, she is very well known for a different book that I have not read, but this is kind of a dumb reason to read a book. I love honey. I'm obsessed with honey. I'm obsessed with bees. So anything about bees and honey is up my alley. So I think I'm maybe about 20-40 pages in, and there's a lot of information about bees, not in kind of a nerdy, boring sort of way, but at least for me, an interesting sort of way. Anything I can learn about bees and honey, I'm into, but also just the story itself so far is very interesting. Okay, so if you have read The Silent Patient, or if you have read Mad Honey, please let me know your thoughts and feelings on both of them, or if you have any recommendations based off of, you know, my enjoyment of The Silent Patient, let me know, because I'm always looking for more to read. Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you next week.